Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is a must-hear. Your lives are at stake. Listen.
We're going to connect the dots for anybody who has ears to hear. Some people are going to want to dispute this, but we're not going to argue with anyone. This is what's going on. There is no Q, there is no anonymous that has any information about this government or anything else that's going on. They have been leading you down a path of lies, all to hide the truth. And here's what's really going on. FEMA has more power than the President of the United States or the Congress. It has the power to suspend laws, move entire populations, arrest and detain citizens without a warrant, and hold them without trial. It can seize property, food supplies, transportation systems, and can suspend the Constitution. When a state of emergency is declared, Executive Order 11921 allows the Federal Emergency Preparedness Agency to develop plans to establish control over the mechanisms of production and distribution of energy sources, wages, salaries, credit, and the flow of money in the U.S. financial institution in any undefined national emergency. It also provides that when a state of emergency is declared by the President, Congress cannot review this action for 6 months. Now, with the understanding that after Trump signed the National Emergency Declaration, FEMA took over. Now, this is March 13th, 2020. Listen to what he's going to say now. This is right after he signed the National Emergency into effect.
It is only the beginning of what we're really doing, and now we're in a different phase.
This is only the beginning of what we're really doing, because what they're really doing is putting everything in place to start the New World Order.
Now we're in a different phase.
The different phase that he's speaking of is that he is no longer president, and he has given full power over to FEMA when he signed the National Emergency Declaration.
We had some very old and obsolete rules.
Those old and obsolete rules are also known as the Constitution of the United States.
That we had to live with. It worked under certain circumstances, but not under mass circumstances. Under mass circumstances is being under FEMA rule. They were there for a long time. They were in place for a long time, and we're breaking them down now.
They're definitely breaking them down because the Constitution is suspended.
And they're very usable for certain instances, but not for this.
Because they can't go forward with their plan with the Constitution, our constitutional rights, still intact.
To unleash the full power of the federal government in this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency.
So he is officially telling us in a coded message that we are now under the rule of FEMA, no longer having a president. Fast forward to March 19th, 2020, in the FEMA National Response Coordination Center.
Well, Mr. President, Vice President, thank you for being here. Really appreciate your visit to FEMA. I think your visit really, as you indicated last week, by signing the national emergency, has really empowered FEMA.
And he just made the declaration that FEMA is empowered, has really empowered FEMA. Fast forward to April 10th, 2020, in plain words, it's been my great honor to have been their president. Past tense.
The American people have been so disciplined. It's been my honor to be their president. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll say it always. It's been my great honor to have been their president, and it's been my great honor to have been their president. I have a big decision coming up, and I only hope to God that it's the right decision, but it'll be based on the input from a lot of very talented people, very smart people, and people that love our country. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
He actually will not be making any more decisions. This group of people that he says will be helping him make decisions are the ones that are making decisions now, because it is FEMA that is making the decisions. And as you can hear in this live briefing, Trump obviously does not know what's going on, because he said, you should have let us know, when Mike Pompeo said, we're in a live exercise.
Pompeo says this is a live exercise. And what you'll hear in the background is Donald Trump say, "You should have let us know."
This is not about retribution. This matters going forward. We're in a live exercise here to get this right. We need to make sure that we're in a live exercise here to get this right. We're in a live exercise here to get this right. We're in a live exercise here to get this right.
Does he sound like a man that's in control of anything anymore? He just looks like he has just lost his best friend in all of these videos that we're seeing now ever since he signed the National Emergency Declaration. I'm sure most of us thought that FEMA was created to help people in disasters. But here's the truth about FEMA. FEMA was created in a series of executive orders. A presidential executive order, whether constitutional or not, becomes law simply by its publication in the Federal Registry. Congress is bypassed. Executive Order 12148 created the Federal Emergency Management Agency that is to interface with the Department of Defense for civil defense planning and funding. An emergency czar was appointed. Executive Order 12656 appointed the National Security Council as the principal body that should consider emergency powers. This allows the government to increase domestic intelligence and surveillance of U.S. citizens and would restrict the freedom of movement within the United States and grant the government the right to isolate large groups of civilians. That's where we're at right now, people. We are all being told what to do, where we can and can't go. The National Guard could be federalized to seal all borders and take control of U.S. airspace and all ports of entry. Executive Order 10990 allows the government to take over all modes of transportation and control of highways and seaports. Executive Order 10995 allows the government to seize and control the communications media. Executive Order 10997 allows the government to take over all electrical power, gas, petroleum, fuels, and minerals. Executive Order 10998 allows the government to take over all food resources and farms. Executive Order 11000 allows the government to mobilize civilians into work brigades under government supervision. Executive Order 11001 allows the government to take over all health, education, and welfare functions. Executive Order 11002 designates the Postmaster General to operate a national registration of all persons. That's where your census comes in. Executive Order 11003 allows the government to take over all airports and aircraft, including commercial aircraft. Executive Order 11004 allows the Housing and Finance Authority to relocate communities, build new housing with public funds, designate areas to be abandoned, and establish new locations for populations. Executive Order 11005 allows the government to take over railroads, inland waterways, and public storage facilities. Executive Order 11051 specifies the responsibility of the Office of Emergency Planning and gives authorization to put all executive orders into effect in times of increased international tensions and economic or financial crisis. Executive Order 11310 grants authority to the Department of Justice to enforce the plans set out in executive orders to institute industrial support, to establish judicial and legislative liaison, to control all aliens, to operate penal and correctional institutions. And Executive Order 11049 assigns emergency preparedness function to federal departments and agencies, consolidating 21 operative executive orders issued over a 15-year period.
Diverse nations are drawn together in common cause to achieve the universal aspirations of mankind: peace and security, freedom, and the rule of law. Such is a world worthy of our struggle and worthy of our children's future. We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Hopefully this has opened some of your eyes so that you can see where we're at in this timeline. This is true. This is what's going on. These are facts. Y'all have a blessed day.
Breaking.
Right? Been a long time. We had a great night yesterday in South Carolina. That was incredible. We filled up a stadium like you haven't seen. This stadium was packed and thousands of people outside. And I saw the competitors, our competitors that have like 2 people on a street corner. It's incredible what's going on. This is a movement like, honestly, like nobody's ever seen before. We say that. And you know, if it wasn't so, the fake news media would be all over us, right? They'd say it wasn't so. He exaggerated. I say it all the time. They never change it. You know, every once in a while you see somebody who did well, let's say well, in New Hampshire, or did well, not even win it, in Iowa. And the whole life of that person is made. Because we won the election. We did well in those places. Sit down, everybody, if you want. Sit down. We won the election. So it's great. And I came here and I got to know Matt and Mercedes early on, and I made a speech before I thought about doing this. They said, would you speak? I was very famous then, too. I guess more famous now. But I was very famous, and I made a speech, and they liked the speech. They said, you ought to run for president. I said, no, thanks. You remember that, Matt? You ought to run for president. We had a big crowd, and it was, The Apprentice was doing so well. It was like a hot, to put it mildly, show. And Matt said, you ought to run for president. I said, let me give it a little thought. And a couple of years later, we said, let's do it. And then they said, I never forget one of the people, respected guy, Charles Krauthammer, right? He said on, well, this isn't so good, but he said on Fox, he said, no, why would he do this? You have 17 of the most talented professionals ever assembled that are running. Why would he run? He's not going to run, and if he does, he's only doing it for fun. You think this has been fun? Does anybody think, Mercedes, you think this has been fun? I don't think you know. This has been just a ball. We've had a ball. But you know what? You know what? We're doing so well and we're doing so much. No administration has ever done what we've done in the first 3 years. Nobody. With tax cuts, and Supreme Court judges, and 218 judges. We're up to 218, including D.C. But together we're defeating the radical socialists, Democrats, the fake news media, the crooked politicians, and the hate-filled left-wing mob. And I told you I was going to be nice today, see? I said, let's be nice today. It's hard to be nice when they treat you so badly, right? Only a fool is nice when they treat you so badly. We're defending our faith, our values, our heritage, our borders, our rights, and our God-given freedoms. We're doing that. This is an incredible, look at all those people back there. This place has grown, look at, wow. Wow, that's fantastic. I don't know who they are, Matt, but they must be very special, this little group over here.
for Matt to block out half the arena for this group of people. I'm trying to figure out, who are they? At first I thought they were the fake news. I said, it's too bad they have such a good location. I don't know who you are, but you're very important. Too. Very important people. We're exposing the corruption of the Washington Democrats, and we're draining the Washington swamp. I just didn't know how dirty it would be. I didn't know how deep it would be. When I said drain the swamp, for a long time, you know, I was given that expression. A speechwriter gave it to me, he said, drain the swamp. I said, that's so hokey. I said, that's the worst, I don't want to use it. Anyway, it ends up in one of the speeches. I said, we will drain the swamp, right? The place went crazy. I said, let's try it again. And we did it again, and the place went crazy. Now, here's the bad part. I never knew the swamp was so bad. It's really bad. But we're winning, and we're winning. Not easy, but we're winning. A lot of dirty people. A lot of very bad people. A lot of bad people, and I think justice will be had. I do believe that, or I wouldn't be very happy right now. We got through everything we got through. They gave us the Mueller hoax. They gave us the Russia crap. They gave us the one phone call that was a perfect phone call. Oh, let's get him out of office for that phone call. But you know, the Republicans stuck together, except Romney, of course. You know, low life. Except Romney, they stuck together. And even him, I got half a vote, so, you know. See, I think it, because he did actually vote one part. He couldn't do it all, you know, because he wanted to get some nice free publicity for himself. But it was 52.5 out of 53 votes. So I guess you could say that, right? 52.5, right? So think of it, the Republicans were fantastic. I tell you what, that's when you find out who your friends are, really. It is. And we had 52.5 votes. And in the House, we had 107, think of it, 107 to nothing with the Republicans, 107 to nothing. And we got 3 Democrats, and one came over and left the Democrat Party. Jeff Van Drew. And really, together, we're preserving this exceptional nation that our ancestors fought and died to build. We are making America greater than ever before. We really are. I think it's going to be greater than ever before with what we're doing with our military and what we're doing also to get rid of very bad people. We have such bad people, and they're not people that love our country. We're getting people that really love our country, and it's so important. And if I wasn't able to fulfill that, no matter what other things we've done, I would not consider this journey to be a success. So just remember that. One of my most important promises to the American people was to end America's long-running wars in the Middle East. American forces, and we're all warriors, folks, but 19 years, I see the people, I go over and I say hello to those incredible soldiers over at Walter Reed. What talent you have at Walter Reed. Those doctors, by the way, they have to be the best in the world, what they can do. And I see the arms and the legs missing, and I see what's happened to some of these incredible, beautiful people. And I see the strength, the spirit that they have. Most of them, I mean, even if they can't walk, if they've lost both legs, they want to go back. Sir, we want to go back. I want to go back. And it's just incredible to see it. And I'm going to mention it a little bit later, but, you know, we knocked out Soleimani, the father of the roadside bomb. We killed him. And al-Baghdadi. Soleimani was they call him the father of the roadside bomb. He thought it was great. Oh, the great bomb. And, you know, he thought it was great. It kept getting bigger and more sophisticated. One young man, he said, my last day, it was my last day in Afghanistan, and they had the mine detectors. And he said, I trusted this man with my life. He was the best. I've never seen anything like it. he could detect those. We felt so safe. But unfortunately, his last day, they made him out of plastic so you couldn't detect him. And it went off, killed the man who was the detector, and badly injured a lot of people. And he was one of them. And he said, think of it, sir. I said, why did it go off? He said, because they made it out of plastic, and the plastic doesn't get detected by the metal detector. And that was the last day, and he lost his legs. But we took that son of a bitch out, didn't we? Huh? Should have been done a long time ago. That should have been done a long time ago. That should have been done a long time ago. And al-Baghdadi, he's the father of ISIS, and we defeated ISIS in the Middle East. We have defeated 100% of the caliphate. But we said to the Europeans, say, take your soldiers. We killed many terrorists. When I took over, by the way, it was a mess. There was so much, I hate to say this, Republicans, but they had maps and it was all red. Red meant ISIS. I hate to say it. I said, let's change the color. I actually did change the color. But they showed me maps. And large portions of Iraq and Syria, ISIS, and we don't want them ever to come here. And I had some great people and have some incredible generals. And I had a decision to make because that was just not, they were not doing it right. And we made the decision and we took them out. Remember, I got to 98%, and I said, all right, now I can bring our people back home. Sir, and then what happened is the press, they didn't care. But they went crazy. He didn't complete the job. I was at 98%, Matt. They said he didn't complete the job. I said, General, complete the job. And they completed the job.